Okay, welcome everyone to Fandango Friday. Welcome everyone to Fandango Friday, and I'm trying to turn this thing off. I don't know why. Oh, there it is. Welcome to Fandango Friday, and I'm James P. Madonna, your host, and I'm here with one and only Mike Hilton. World is fucked. From San Francisco, California. This is a mad, mad, mad world tour. It's insane. It's insane. We're in total chaos. Total chaos. Uh, 7 lucky bells. Okay. And how you feeling? You have Italian food tonight? What did you have? Pizza? What did you have for dinner?
Pretty good. I have a nice Modelo that I'm sipping on. How you feel?
All right. Oh, you got Modelo Especial? Yeah, Modelo's a good when it comes to macro beer. Modelo is a high quality macro beer. It is. It's a high quality macro. And I like and hard too.
But I feel like a good old Modelo is a good old pilsner that could drink you through the day or could drink you through the evening. It's really good hoppy beer.
Oh yeah. So you consider Modelo Especial to be a pilsner, not a lager? You consider it a pilsner?
Oh, yeah. It's more a pilsner. It's more a pilsner. Not as much a lager. More a pilsner.
I mean, I definitely like it. It's a beer that you can have all the time. It's not heavy like the Imperial IPA.
All right, Chandler. New question. Let's. You'll do the work on this one. What size and how long is it? Why do you ask coach?
Yeah.
I was gonna go with 216.
Hold on.
What's going on?
What? I can fucking big math, not little math. You fucking drill by 218. Well, no, I just got shot. So this break on this fucking decent shot. It's really big. It's definitely hateful.
Very loud there. Very boisterous. Now, what did you have?
That's like the best for your dick for
Hold on. I can't hear nothing. Then through the cloud. Hold on. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Would you have pizza tonight?
I didn't have anything tonight, but I'm trying to have a pizza later on. I'm trying to get a pizza. I'm trying to get a pizza scored later on. So that's what I'm trying to do. What are you doing?
No, I wasn't gonna do a show because all the people I sent links to, I they didn't show up. But then I closed it, and then this knucklehead that I know says, "Oh, I want to do a show," and and he knows how to do it. He knows how to come on as a guest.
Oh yeah, but I feel like you and Damien, you guys got to work that out. You guys gotta figure out a way to work that out amongst yourselves, and you
Well,
guys gotta figure out a way to see what's
yeah, but
going on.
he doesn't he doesn't he has blinders on like a Clydesdale, like the Budweiser commercial. He doesn't really he doesn't focus or care about what other people have to say. Like he has,
I know,
he's got to be right 100% of the time.
I
And
know.
therein lies the problem. Now, what I said was correct. What Governor DeSantis of Florida did was insane. You know, totally open up everything, lock, stock, and barrel. Uh, uh, Full capacity bars, full capacity restaurants. Like when the kids go on spring break, they're all on top of each other. That during a pandemic, he does that.
Yeah, but yeah, and even when so bars are reopened in California, they are reopened, but but they are reopened at 25% capacity.
Right.
So
That's what I mean.
um, right. So I was like the only person in there when I last went over there. I was like the only person freaking in there. It's just nobody trying to nobody trying to show up to a place when they know that it's less than 50% capacity. Uh, it's just I went over there and 25% capacity in the bar. So what I've seen is that just most examples is that not a whole lot of people show up. It's just not a whole lot of people show up. Let's try to get Eric Fraunfelter and Damien. Let's try to get Damien and Eric Fraunfelter live on this.
Well,
See what's going on.
Eric has the link. Eric saw the link. He has it, and he's the one that said, "Oh, you doing a show tonight? Hey, yeah, I'll join it." But he was supposed to join it at 10:30 p.m.
Of course
and,
he is.
yeah,
Well, why did he say that so condescendingly?
he said, "Oh yeah, well, I want to be on the show. I want to be on the show," but there's no Eric. I sent one to Alex the Beer Man.
I
I
don't
sent
know. Well,
to Nick.
listen, dude. I gotta get back to what I'm doing here, but I will definitely um. Oh shit. I gotta get back to what I'm doing here, but I will definitely be live with you guys at some point. I will be live, so you guys are awesome. I want Eric Fraunfelter and Damien. I want them to also be live. You guys are awesome. I want to see that live stream. You guys
Well,
are awesome. Thanks for seeing me, you guys. Watch the beer reviews. You guys are cool. James, you the man. You the
yeah,
man.
I might have to close out the show. So this is the deal. I have people that, in general, that are very unreliable when it comes to doing live stream shows. Meanwhile, uh, you know, the political show, I'm looking for a new co-host. Now, meanwhile, they go on shows, live stream shows with these average looking or funny looking or freaky looking alcoholics. And these average drunks, typical drunks, no pizzazz, no charisma, no sense of humor, no intellect. These people that do live stream shows like what I just described, these people have a huge following. Now, you figure that out. You figure that out. You know, and then I have others that you send them a link to be a guest, and you tell them, click on the link. The link has like a duck, an image of a duck. You click on the link, it takes you right here. Then it asks you what your name is. You type it in, and then you hit the button, and you're here. It's a no-brainer. It's that simple. So, Daryl Macias, if you're still around, and you want to discuss some subjects, I am here at the moment. Now, I thought I was going to have some long-term guests, and apparently, at least that's what I thought. It looks like I don't, but they are long-term guests with these alcoholics that do these craft beer shows, hard liquor shows, and they all have, I guess they all have that one thing in common. They're all drunks. And as you just saw before, oh, there he is. So you can't have an intelligent, reliable, you can't have, there he is.
All right, I'm in the lobby.
All right. We now have the one and only performing artist, the Renaissance man, the one and only Can Create is here. It's been a long time since we had him on a live show. How are you doing this evening, Kenny?
Yep.
I hear you loud and clear, and the video is crystal clear.
Well, that's good.
Because when you were outside, it kept on cutting off.
Right.
Yeah, they obviously you have a good connection where you are now, with those lovely curtains behind you.
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah, they're gold. It's a nice background, actually. It's like the curtains Johnny Carson used to have on the Tonight Show. You know, but
Yeah.
da, da, da. Here, let me do some 7 lucky bells.
That's it. Get your bell going.
And I got the jingle bells because the season's coming.
Yep.
And then I call this the Ed Norton bell. You know, remember when he said, Thelma, step into the dining area with my coffee. I would like 2 lumps. And she said, you keep ringing that bell and I'll give you 2 lumps. Now, we had a really interesting conversation off the air about the entertainment industry and Hollywood. And you sent me some interesting videos about what's going on in the entertainment industry these days. And it was something that people are not aware of. The average person is starstruck. You know, they look up to them like they were gods or something. You know, they worship.
Right.
entertainers, but they don't know the whole story. You know, like like you know. Uh, okay. Oh, Daryl. Daryl says. All right. Daryl says he likes listening to conversations. Thank you, Daryl. And
Well, you tell them this is a really heavy hitter.
yeah, we got a heavy hitter now, not like those other ham and eggers that come in and out of my show. This is a
Right.
heavy hitter. Marvelous Muma. Welcome, Marvelous Muma. Muma? The fabulous Mula or Marvelous Muma? Daryl is getting a kick out of it. So we got some people here. All right. Take it away about the entertainment industry and what you have learned over the years. And it's really
When you go on Facebook, you find some interesting stuff. Uh, I already knew some stuff about the Illuminati because I told them that I dream, I went to sleep, you know, before I dreamed a dream. So I went to sleep, and all of a sudden I woke up and I found myself in this mansion. And the banged on the door, and the butler opened the door and said, "Come in, Ken Create. You're welcomed in." So I'm like, okay. So I went in. He said, "Star will be with you in a minute. She's taking the place." So I was like, fine. So I'm looking around and I see Oscars and Emmys and I see these awards, that award. And then all of a sudden, I went into the office and I was checking out pictures and stuff. And then I looked and there was a big chair. And when the chair spun around, there was Star in all her glory and all her fame and fortune. So she said, "Welcome to the world, Can Create. I'm going to make you a star." So I was like, wow, great. So she showed me the contract, and the name of the place was Star Kingdom. So I looked at the contract and says, I don't know. This looks like a little fishy here with this contract. So I says, well, I'd like to hold off. So she said, well, that's not a problem. She goes, you could take in the city. So I was like, fine. So I left the mansion and I walked throughout the city and I seen this star, I seen that star, and it's like, whoa, this is pretty cool. I went to a restaurant and stuff. So I was like, whoa, once I get back to that mansion, I think I'm going to sign this. So when I got back in the mansion, the butler opened the door and he brought me in this big room. But Star wasn't there, but her son and her daughter was there. So we sat down, we had a big meal. And then when we were done eating, he goes, come on, we'll bring you in the other room, shoot some pool. So I says, okay. So I walked in and I met this very pretty girl. And I said, oh, what are you doing here? And she says, oh, Star's going to make me a top model. I'm like, oh, okay. So we're hanging out, we're shooting pool. And then all of a sudden she goes, I don't feel good. So I says, well, why don't you sit down? And then she fell to the ground. So I took a blanket and I put it over her. I said, I like to pray for her. So she said, okay. So I started praying for her and she started to shiver. And I says, ah. So I took the rest of the covers and I put it over her whole body, her face. And when I got done praying, all of a sudden the lights in the pool room were flickering on and off. Then all of a sudden I heard, leave Star Kingdom. You're not welcome here, Can Create, because you serve the Most High. So the lights came back on. Her son and her daughter weren't there. And when I pulled the sheet from the model, she was half woman and half beast.
oh wow.
So yeah, so what happened after that was I had to leave. So I left, and now I'm walking the city, and now it's nighttime. Now it was like sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Anything was rolling. Then people seen me, and they started chasing me. So I was led down this alley, which led to a park. So now I was in the park, and all these people were chasing me. So all of a sudden I looked and I seen a stage. And I turned and I looked at the people and I froze the people with my hand because in my dreams there's like supernatural dreams. And then when I looked and turned around and on the stage, I seen on the left hand side Star's daughter, and it said Witches of Star Kingdom. Then I looked to the right and it was her son. It said Warlock Star Kingdom. And I looked in the middle and there was Star and it said Harlot Star Kingdom.
All right.
And then I looked at all the people, okay, and I looked at my hand and they weren't frozen no more. And they were just standing there. And Star, daughter, son disappeared in a puff of smoke. And then all the people came at me. I looked at my hand again and they froze. And then I went back to the stage and I just threw my hand at the stage and this big movie screen came down. And in the video, it was like a road, a narrow road that led to a type of house. And when the door opened on the video, I seen Star's son and daughter. And it was like a pit. And they were casting all these people down into the pit. Okay, in the Bible, that means, you know, the pit of hell. Then all of a sudden, they all start laughing. And there was a big explosion. The floor opened up, and they were all sucked up into the pit. So then I looked at my hand, the screen disappeared. I looked at the people. I got them out of like the trance they were in, and they seen it. So now all of a sudden, I just threw my hand out to them, and they were being transformed into light. And then I looked to my right hand side, and there was the model, okay. And I prayed over her, and all of a sudden, she was back to being a beautiful girl. So then all these people were joining us, and all of a sudden, we just flew up, and we started flying past our kingdom and around the nation. Now we start singing a song. And then I woke up from my dream. But on the lips of my dream was the words. And I'm like, what the heck was that dream about? So I said, I got to write this because I've had dreams, because I do a lot of writing, you know that. I've had dreams where I met certain stars and lyrics came to me that were mind blowing. And then when I woke up from the dream, instead of writing the lyrics, I just said, oh, let me go back into my dream to see the end of it. But then when I woke up, the lyrics were gone. So this time I said, I'm getting up and I'm going to write this. So I just moved my hand real fast, remembering what I could about the dream. Then I said, well, tomorrow I got the meat and potatoes. I'll write the thing. So I'm laying in bed and it's like, I can't sleep now. And I'm going to landscape in a couple hours. So I said, let me put the radio on. So I have the radio hooked to a Christian station. So I put the radio on. And the commercial just ended. And it said, coming up on our show was a man. He's an evangelist. And guess what he does, James?
What's that?
He evangelizes, okay, on the occult, witches, warlocks, and harlots. And I was like, wow, that was my dream. So now in the Bible, it says, okay, Satan brought Jesus to the top point of the mountains of the world. And he said, bow down and worship me, and I will show you, I will give you all these kingdoms because I have the power of these kingdoms. And he showed him like in a vision. So that's when Jesus quoted scriptures and the devil flew away from him. Now, when it comes to stardom in Hollywood and people in the entertainment world, they're people who want to be actors, actresses, singers, you know, whatever that deals with entertainment. Okay. They basically have to sign a contract. But what it is the top people lure them in and they show them this is what you can have. So what they do is they start giving them stuff. They give them like a 1 year contract or 6 months contract, and they give them money. They bring them to the best restaurants. They start flying them around. They start doing shows, and then all of a sudden they lure them in, and the people are hooked now, and they see they can have this, so they sign the contract. Now, once they sign the contract, then they have them. Now they have to listen to them, and now they become puppets. Now, since I had that dream, there's a good possibility that
Mhm.
people who became stars might have had a similar dream to me. And in their dream, they signed on the dotted line, like a Madonna, whoever. Okay. Now, what would have happened in my life in the dream if I would have signed that contract? You never know. I mean, the next day, a couple days, a week, whatever, I could have met connections, and I could have got a telephone call and got in front of the top people. Okay. And then today, you can be like a star, but it's like you're a puppet and you signed to the contract that, you know, who controls all the powers of the world, which is called the Illuminati. They control the government, the banks, the entertainment, the
Yeah.
sports, the whole
The,
nine yards. They control everything. But
yeah. Yeah.
I
Go ahead.
didn't sign on the contract. But like I said, there's a good possibility that some of these stars, these mega stars, had a similar dream and signed the contract, and now today they're stars, but they sold their soul to the devil, and they're in hot water. And
Well,
then
these guys.
from there, uh, with my cell phone, once I got a new one, and I got linked into Facebook and everything, and YouTube, I started seeing things on YouTube with the Illuminati. So I started watching this stuff. Then I really got deeply into watching what is really going on. And now, let
Yeah.
me tell you something. It's scary stuff because these entertainers, these mega stars, these sports stars, all signed their soul. And what it is they believe they belong to the Illuminati, which is different frats of Freemasons, Skull and Bones, different different chapters of this higher power. Okay, so then what they must do is what I seen is they spot certain people at young ages and they see the talent and then they groom them. Like you could take a Kobe Bryant, you could take LeBron James, and they
Right.
groom him. He's a little kid because they see his talent. Okay, then when he's in high school, they start giving him sneakers. Okay, then he gets drafted. He goes to the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's the first pick, and now he's supposed to be the savior of the team. And then he starts getting championships. Then he signs a huge contract, and now he's learning. And then what he does is he recruits other people. So with the sports, with the entertainment, with the rappers, they all give signs, and all these signs acknowledge to the other people in their fraternities that hey, we're with you. Which, like I said, the higher powers, Illuminatis, run everything. Now, what the Illuminatis want to do with this COVID-19, because to me it's all fake, but it's out there, is they want to lure it in a one world government and take over the world. And in the Bible, that talks about the mark of the beast, which is 666, which is a chip. And when God saves the last person under his grace, because they're covered by the blood of Christ, he's going to take all the Christians off this world. Then the Antichrist will show up on the scene, which I believe he is here now. And then it'll be a 7 year tribulation period. And then all the plagues and everything's going to come down on all the people of the earth. And then Christ is going to come back with the church, his people. And then God's going to, you know, take the people out. All right. They'll be cast into hell. And then you have where the angel comes down and takes Lucifer, who's Satan, and he's going to throw him into the pit for 1,000 years. And through the 1,000 year period with Christ, there'll be people on the earth repopulating the earth, having kids, and through the 1,000 year period, they're going to have a chance to really get right with the Lord. But there's going to be ones who are going to deny him. So after the 1,000 year period, Satan is let loose and he starts corrupting these people on the earth. And then you have the final battle where Satan and his armies are going to really try to take over the kingdom of the earth, which is going to be 1,000 years. And Christ is just going to say a couple words and they're all going to be cast into the lake of fire. Then the judgment seat of God, that's the great white throne, judgment, okay, is set up. And all the people who rejected Christ are in the pit right now. It's like holding cells, okay? They're going to come back, be resurrected from them places, and the books will be open, and they will be found guilty of their sins, and he will cast them into the lake of fire, and they will be in torment for eternity because they rejected the free message, the free gift, which is God's grace, of getting right with God by accepting Christ as their Savior, and they rejected him. So it's going to be stars because the Bible says the ones who are going to stand at the great white throne judgment are going to be small, big, and huge. Great names, little names, and in between names. So you're talking poor people, middle class people, rich people, uh, upper higher level people, and powerful people, and ones that rule the world. So there's so much truth to what's going on. So I know by watching the videos and even having my dream, okay, that there is elite people that are running the system. And that's why in TV and in the movies, you're seeing all these horror flicks, you're seeing all these garbage TVs. So, like, they're in your face. You got a Ouija boards out there, and there's everything like on the occult on TV. They had TV shows of witches, you know, that ghost stories, warlocks. It's all here. So Satan runs the whole industry, and he's got people underneath him that are just puppets and they're blind.
Well, people today are being physically attacked by demonic entities. I mean,
Absolutely.
scratches on their body, that things are moving, things are flying across the room, people are levitating. You know, there's a lot going on more than ever before. Now, the fact that you had a dream like
Right.
when you started talking and you described Star Kingdom, the dream, the fact that you remembered all the detail about that dream after
Right.
all this time, that was a prophetic message. That was definitely a message to you.
No, I mean, there was definitely something there because even when 9/11 hit, and I was helping my buddy out who passed away and hopefully is with the Lord, but at the time I was landscaping with him and
Mm-hmm.
he was a fireman. And I said to him one day, I says, Gabe, something's coming here. He goes, what are you talking about? I said, it's too comfortable here in the United States. It's like people are sleeping, but they're going about their business and they think everything's cool. They're making money. They're prospering in all different stuff. Okay. And they're enjoying their life, but they're too comfortable. Something is coming here. So when 9/11 happened, I said to my friend, see, I told you. He goes, yeah, but you didn't know it was 9/11. I said, I didn't say that. I said, but there is something definitely coming here because I felt it in my spirit. This United States is too comfortable. And it happened. Now, with the same thing with the virus, me going to clubs, like you know, and God gave me the talent, which, is a gift because every individual who is saved has the gift of God, which is grace, and you're covered by the blood of Christ. But now, with that, He gives you talents. Now, with the talent he gave me by me being a witness for him, doing shows, performing, or even going to dance clubs, getting on the floor and just doing what I do so people would come to me so I could talk about my faith to people. Because the Bible says that Jesus came for the lost. So for an individual who's a Christian, you have to go to the lost. So you have to go into their territory. So now, being a believer and at the same time a performer, because I was doing it before I became a Christian, to me, it's like God gave me something special, okay, cleaned up my life, but put me back out there to the people, okay, that once was I associated with or where I was going to dance clubs. And now people would come up to me and they'd say, "Wow, you're great at what you do." And that was my tool and opportunity and opening to talk to these people and also to warn them what's coming on, what's going to go down.
Hi, John. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, John. John
So now,
Anilli. Yeah, great John Anilli. A wonderful guy, highly intelligent from the state of Georgia. Thank you.
okay, so now what happened was by me going to clubs and you taping in clubs, I got thrown out a couple clubs, and I believe that's because the devil didn't want me there. But anyway, going to another club before this virus happened, it was a younger club. So I'm going to the club. I get to meet a bouncer who turns out to be one of the owners, which I didn't know. And he loved what I did.
Right.
So I gave him my testimony. And he was floored. And he said to me, "My grandfather's like you. He's a believer." I said, "Really?" So I said, "He reads the Bible." "Well, he reads the Bible every day." "Cool." So what about you? He said, "Well, he wants me and my brother and sister, because they're the ones that ran the club, to get in the Word." I said, "Well, you getting into it?" He goes, "Yeah, get into it here and there." I said, "Start going to church, start reading the Word, because once you get in the Word, it comes down to you, James. You're the individual, all right? Because I thought, like in the past, anybody who was a God person, you know what I mean, was a cornball, okay? Was like, what would they say? Too vanilla, too square, you know what I mean? Weird. But once I accepted Christ and I started getting in the Word, I was like, no, this is so cool. You're having a relationship with the Lord. It's the best thing that ever happened in my life. But anyway, going to the clubs, meeting young kids, and talking to them. I said to some young kids, something is coming here that's going to change the United States. And this was before the COVID-19 happened, like a couple months. And then I was ready to go to Vegas, you know that. And then this virus came out. So hopefully, these young kids that I talked to heard that message that I told them, and now maybe they might see life a little different now. Like, whoa, we watched that guy, and that was amazing. Then we talked to him, and all he did was talk about God. But at the same time, he was telling us something's coming here to change the United States. Now, hopefully, they took that message and said, "Wow, could he have been telling us about this COVID-19?" So, you know what? You never know. Maybe it got to people. So, like I said, I'm only a tool. I go out and do what I got to do. I plant a seed, the Bible says, or you water the seed, and God makes the increase, and He's the one, okay, that draws nearer to them, and He's the one where if they want to really get right with Him and cry out to Him to be saved, He's going to save them. Now, what happens is when you called up into the rapture, then God's going to say, "Where's your fruit? Who'd you like to? Who did you bring to me?" So hopefully, in my life, when I face the Lord, He says to me, "Look at all the people you brought to me. When you were in the club, when you were performing, when you were on the street, when you were on your job, you know." That's where Christ is going to look at us and say, "Did you stand for me?" Because if you make the judgment seat of Christ, okay, that means you're in heaven. And the only reason why you're there is because You took Christ as your Savior, and God forgave all your sins. But there's a judgment for all believers, and that's the judgment seat of Christ. And He's going to say, "What did you do for me?" So I'm just out there as a tool doing my job.
Yeah, I mean, Can Create is on the web. If you go to your browser and type in Can Create, you will see his videos of his performance and his travels. I mean, he totally takes over nightclubs and dance clubs everywhere he goes. Totally takes it over, uh, and he uses magical props that he uses when he performs, and he does creative dance, creative mime when he performs, all different props, all magical props. Now he's also an outstanding evangelist, and he gives sermons, and his religious, his Christian sermons are also on the internet. Um, there's a Can Create playlist on YouTube. Now the only thing is, I had to take the videos of him performing at the the last two um, dance clubs that he was performing at. I had to put him in a private Google photo album because of the copyright music that the DJs were playing. They would actually mute the whole entire video, and we're talking about a whole Saturday night of him performing to all the great dance songs, whether it be freestyle, old house music, or techno, whatever. And he could perform to any type of music. I wonder if he. Oh, there he is. Oh, there you go. He could
Yeah.
perform to any type of music. He's like a chameleon, Can Create. No matter what is going on, he could adapt to it and perform to it. If he sees a prop in a restaurant or a club, if he sees a empty wine glass, or he'll see a chair, or he'll see any object, he can perform with or around that object spontaneously, like this, in the snap of a finger. Totally ad lib, spontaneous performance, and he doesn't plan it out. It actually comes to him fast. He gets the idea just as fast as he uses the prop. Like, whatever ideas come to you, it's not something that's on paper. It's not pre-planned. That's why people can't rehearse you. You can't, if somebody says, "Well, I want to book you for my nightclub." You need to do rehearsal before and then you would say, I have a very general idea of what I'm going to do, but the details of the performance is totally boom. The Lord has to give you the enthusiasm and the thought of what you're going to do and say. So
Well, what it is, it's like spontaneous because when I was out in California, my friend Rocco, you know him, he's a magician.
right.
I was staying with one of his ex-girlfriends, and I had my videos. So one of her friends details the cars to all, does the detail on the entertainers out there. So he watched my video, he liked it. So I'm going to get this video to the people on Mostly Magic, I think it was called, and it was on Channel 9, like the best magician.
This is a famous magician, Rocco Solano, also seen on the internet. That's a longtime friend of Can Create. They grew up together. Continue.
And what happened was He took my video, he showed it to the people, the producers of this magic show on TV, and they really liked it. They really liked the dancing cane. So when he came back to me, he says, they want to meet, but they want to choreograph you. And I said, you can't choreograph me. And he was like, well, why's that? I says, because I can't choreograph myself. I mean, there's certain things, yes, I know you could give me some good ideas that maybe I can look at and say, whoa, I didn't know that. And maybe that's good for that part of the dancing thing. But I said to him, what I mean by that is if I am choreographed, all right, and people are, and I'm on the show, it might not come out like that because don't have an idea, okay, how it's going to go down. I mean, I definitely have certain things, and you know that with the dancing cane that I do. But as I'm doing it, two, three ideas might come to me, and I change up on the spot. That's why you can't choreograph me. I just give it to the Lord. And Lord, I'm just a tool. You gave me the talent. I'm here for you. Okay? Let them see light. When I'm done, they come to me. I talk about you. You take over the performance. That's it. And I believe that's what he does because I'm self taught, bro. You know that.
Yeah,
Nobody
totally.
told me.
And you've evolved over the years. You've gotten better with age, and as the years went by, you've totally improved drastically and evolved,
Well,
skyrocketed, and
I
that's
mean, if you look at all the writing, okay, that came from the Word of God. Okay. So you're talking poetry, you're talking rap, you're talking, it could be songs. And then an idea came to me about I write a book. So I have like 80 pages right now. And some stuff had to be cleaned up. But basically, it might have been on hold because of this virus now. So this may be another chapter. So I have no idea when this is completed. Is it going to be out there? Are we going to go back to normal situations where the entertainment world is going to come back, clubs are going to reopen, you know, and people are going to perform. I have no idea where this is going because everything basically is closed. It's all on hold. Actors who came in perform, big people, they're not doing it. So nobody's doing nothing right now. Yeah, they're doing it by videos, but that's it. Are they going to go back to like say a professional football game when their fans are allowed in the stands? Right now, we don't know. So, am I going to get to where I got to get to the elite people to warn them? I don't know. Is my book going to be completed and put out there for people to read? I don't know. Am I going to do the TV show I was talking to you about? I have no idea because of the virus. But I know at the same time, when I have opportunities to talk to people and eliminate the entertainment, eliminate the writing, all that stuff, when I have an opportunity to talk to somebody, I talk to them, about my faith. And that's what I'm about. But I'm a screw up. We're all screw ups, bro.
yeah.
We're
Well,
all screw ups.
you were supposed to go to Las Vegas until the pandemic hit. He
And
was supposed to live there, and perform in Las Vegas, and then all of a sudden the pandemic came, and
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 now,
uh,
also, what happened with that, I was delayed. So to me, it was like, why was I delayed? I mean, I could have went out there, say in November, all right, and say did good for a couple of months. Then all of a sudden, this epidemic happened, and everything's closed down. Well, what do I do? How do I make my money? How do I survive?
yeah,
There's
I mean,
nobody, you know, to perform for. What are you going to perform for? The wall?
you have to, yeah, the fire hydrant. I mean, you have to have the bodies of tourists walking back and forth in large volume. Otherwise, and the clubs are closed in Las Vegas. The nightclubs are closed, dance clubs. There's no shows. There's no the famous Las Vegas shows because of the pandemic. So you can't, the casino. All right, they got people separated by, I guess, acrylic partitions. You have social distancing like you have in restaurants, only 25% capacity. Uh, um, it's not like that fat idiot governor of Florida that reopened everything 100%, like nothing's going on. I mean, Florida.
What's going to happen with that? You will see in time. Okay, did he make the right move or he moved too quick? All right, we don't know. I mean, they say statistics about this virus. Okay, these people who die of the flu, these people that die of a heart attack, these people who die of cancer, and these individuals who have died, they might not have died from this virus, but they're throwing these numbers out there like, oh, they died of it, they died of it, they died of it, and that might not even be true. But this is how the devil works because he wants a one world government. And the government and the biggies of the world are looking at everybody when there was a lockdown and they look at the people and say, we got them. We got them. They're ready to back down to us.
Well,
So
the new world order oligarch is definitely has the Democrats and the Republicans paid off.
Oh yeah, of course. Because what it is they want power. They're deceived. The entertainers are deceived. I mean, they have things now. If you watch, movies that were out, like one movie was out with Will Smith, he was cloned. Okay, and the clone was the bad guy. So if they can clone in movies, they could clone people, bro. And I believe they have cloned people in government and entertainment. Okay, and the clones carry on, and they might have took the entertainer out because supposedly there were stories of certain people got killed, and you don't hear of them no more. But then again, I heard stories that they're in bunkers and they're going to live in bunkers the rest of their life. Okay, so who knows? Like they're saying the one Taylor Swift, that's a clone. Now, if that's true, they might have killed her and they might have her in a bunker and she's going to live there the rest of her life. And the clone, okay, that they made does all the singing and is a robot to the system.
Well, I saw a documentary about hybrids, how they're able to alter the DNA of a person. And yes, they've cloned animals. They had test tube babies. They cloned babies in a laboratory. They produce children. They produce clones of dogs and whatever. There's a laboratory in South Korea that specializes in cloning.
Well, because when the Antichrist comes on the scene, the Bible says, okay, let's make an image of the beast. Okay. So now that could be a robot. Could be a robot. You know what I mean? And it's going to be an image of the Antichrist. A clone. But it could be a robot.
In Minneapolis, Minnesota, there's a video that I saw of a white guy paying off the young black kid, and right after he paid him off, they started rioting and looting. In other words, the news that's out there is that the New World Order member, because there's more than one member, George Soros.
Yes.
Soros, who used to be a Nazi German,
right,
paid those guys off to start looting and setting things on fire and everything.
Right.
So it's definitely out there. I mean, the media is lying to us. The media keeps many secrets from us. The government kept many secrets since Roswell, New Mexico had that crash, the alien crash. And there's been crashes, and there's videos. There's a show called Paranormal Caught on Camera on the Travel Channel. Every week they show clear, high definition UFOs in the sky, all different shapes and colors and everything.
Well,
So,
see,
but
that's how Satan deceives you, even when it comes to UFOs. Okay, in the Bible, it's in the Old Testament, because the Bible is so many pages, and there's so many information in the Bible, even in the Old Testament, that talks about today. And it says that, okay, there will be objects, okay, and the way in the Bible, what they look like, what they're describing is flying saucers. All right. But it also says in the Bible, in the New Testament, we don't fight against flesh and blood. We fight against principalities, powers, demons that sit in heavenly places. So these demons, these fallen angels, have high ranks, and they're sitting in heavenly places. The Bible also says that Satan comes as an angel of light to deceive the elect, but he also comes to deceive people. So I think one of his deceiving devices that he does, he deceives people with these aliens, with these flying saucers. So people look at that, and if they believe it's real, then they believe that there's other life out there on other planets, and there can be more than one God. And this is how he deceives. But my personal opinion, I think they're demons, and they come to deceive people and keep them in the dark. But they're real. They're definitely real, without a doubt.
well, you see this the hauntings and
Yeah,
activity that's going on in people's homes on that show.
no,
People
absolutely.
are taking videos. They even got hidden cameras with night vision. Like the baby like levitated and was standing on top of the crib on the edge.
Sure.
I mean, how could a baby balance itself on the edge of a crib? I mean, it's like, and then they see shadow people. A lot of people are seeing shadow people,
Well,
which when you see a shadow person, it's even if the lights are off, it's blacker than the dark. It's black as can be. So you can see the shadow person even if the lights are off.
well, yes, and not only that, my friend who's a magician, like I told you, he's done shows. I've met people. I've met some of his friends. Okay. And even some of these tricks that these individuals do, okay, they're either supernatural or they're tricks. But their ideas of what they do is like, wow, why are you doing that? So there's more dark magic out there. Now, don't get me wrong, there's tricks. But then again, there could be supernatural things going on that you think is a trick, and it might not be a trick, because this
Well,
is how the devil comes, like I said, to deceive people. Another way he deceives big time is he looks at individuals and he says, how can I distract people? What do they like? Okay. And it can be a person's addicted to sports. So when Sunday comes, football, oh, he's in front of the TV. He's in front of the TV. He's all excited. Gets his buddy. They have parties. They drink, or you go to the bars. Everybody's at the bars watching football games. Let's drink. Let's get stoned. That's how he deceives. He deceives through gambling. Okay, he deceives through like Vegas, Atlantic City. He deceives through entertainment that people just love dancing or music, and that's where their head is at, and that's what they love. So,
yeah, yeah.
well,
Well, you
so
mean people that have obsessions and addictions. The
That's
forces of evil could be encouraged with that.
he looks at what you love in life, and that's how he deceives you. Because with me, growing up, played sports, loved sports. My brother was really, really talented in sports. My friends were talented in sports. Some should have got a break, but didn't. My brother should have got a break, but didn't. But then later on, we got into the drugs. So your passion becomes something. Okay. Could be drugs, could be drinking, it could be sports, could be entertainment, and
Could be sex,
wherever your
it could
passion
be
is at,
it could be
this
sex
is
addicts, sexual addiction,
this is where the
addiction,
devil is going.
addiction. Get it?
This is where the devil is going to deceive you. Okay. And by
Yeah.
him deceiving you, he's keeping you away from the truth. He's keeping you away from the word of God because that's what he did in my life.
Okay. Now I want to introduce you to my friend here.
Hello.
He's a rock. He's part of a heavy metal rock band called Oxblood Forge. He's the drummer for Oxblood Forge. This is the performing artist and evangelist can create. Meet Eric.
Eric, how you doing?
Hello. Oh, wait a minute. How do we do this? Opposite directions. Hello.
Hello.
Nice to see y'all.
You got it.
His band, outstanding.
Right.
What a great band. But they're an indie band, so they're not famous
Yeah.
yet, but they're fantastic. They got tremendous potential.
We're not playing the booty Call anytime soon. No.
So we're gonna take an intermission with Eric reviewing a fine craft beer.
Wow. Oh, I got the big boy can. I got the Crowler 32-ounce can. Oh,
Backyard.
wow. This is a backyard brewery in Manchester, New Hampshire. That guy, Bumpy Road Brewery and CBP, the craft beer pours, they go to this thing all the time. They like it. I was in New Hampshire for my brother's wedding last weekend, and I stopped in Backyard Brewery on the way back. It's a Lazy Days 6.2%. Lazy Days 6.2 canned on the 27th of September, and I don't know. You tend to notice these color beers when I bring them, huh, James?
Yeah, the hazy, fruity looking beers.
IPAs. Yeah, this is a New England style, and definitely has all of that look, and it's got some nice lacing. Yeah, a little bit.
Eric is from Massachusetts. Eric is in Massachusetts.
New England.
New England, yeah.
I mean, you definitely get your juicy pineapple, grapefruit,
Right.
a little bit of the white bready malt. There's actually a little bit of like that bubble gummy, almost lactose kind of a sweet yeasty component to it. Yeah, smells really refreshing. Let's see what it's like. I think James would like that. It's not super. It's not super bitter, but there is some of that dankness and like a hop oil resin quality to it. You're getting grapefruit, you're getting pineapple, you're getting peach, you're getting mangoes, you're getting all of the tropical fruits in the morning in your juice cup.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
definitely a velvety smooth kind of beer. There's a little bit of a sticky texture when it dries, so it's not super bone dry, but it's pretty dry for what it is. Crisp, clean, ultra refreshing at 6.2%. You could drink a lot of that and forget. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Michael Hilton was on brief. He was on for about maybe 10, 15 minutes or so, but he was so drunk. He was at a pizzeria outside. He was
Tom Overhill?
And he was like,
that never happens from him. That's a new one.
No, he was outside on location. So while you were critiquing that wonderful beer, performing artist Ken Create is taking a cigarette break.
Taking a little break. Now, what's your buddy's name?
Eric.
Eric, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I grew up like on progressive rock. That was my favorite.
Okay.
Like, yes, Genesis, Pink Floyd.
Oh, my favorite band of all time is Rush.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, I play some drums, so there's the primary influence to me playing drums. Well,
Because
actually, I
that,
started with Lars, and then when I really got into heavy metal, and then my father, I got all the classic rock from him. Somewhere down the line was Rush fitting in really nicely to the heavy metal stuff, but me getting into percussion and drumming, like that was just the perfect mix of it all, and it's like perfect songwriting, instrumentation. I don't feel like they did it in this pretentious way where they were just like, we know how to do this, let's just wank off on our instruments. They wrote really nice sounding songs. I like
well,
that.
well, not only that, okay, because their influence came from Yes,
And
Genesis,
yeah, especially yes, Genesis, The Who, yep,
right. So
Buffalo
now
Springfield.
when you're talking bands like that, okay, to me they're musicians and
Yep.
they have like 13, 14 changes in songs. You got to use your brain. That's when you're good.
Little bit.
You know what I mean?
Especially as the drummer in the band, you have to know all those changes and how to get people in and
Exactly.
out of them. It's crazy.
Well, that's why I never was like a Stones person or somebody like that because to me
Yeah.
that's simple music.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Kind of. Yeah. I mean, I think that might be some people's problem with AC/DC too, is that it's just all the chords of AC/DC, you know what to expect in each of those songs, right?
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
yeah, but you got to go and see some of these bands live to kind of see, like, if you've never seen AC/DC, you gotta that I've seen them twice. You gotta see that still. That thing is awesome. That's a good show right there.
Well, I seen him, and the only one that impressed me was the singer at the time who passed away, Bon Scott,
Ooh.
and
Whoa.
Agnes. Okay, because he could play.
Yes.
The guys in the band, like his brother, it was all simple stuff.
Yep.
So they turned me
Yeah.
off at the time. I liked them
James
because I
Prima Donna, you
and the
like you
sport
some
well.
Devo. You like Devo? Yeah, Devo.
Yeah, with the flower pots on it. Yeah, they're quite talented. Devo. I know people make fun of them, but they're,
Yeah.
if you get Gates of Steel, like if you listen to the Gates of Steel music video and you hear them play, and you're underrated.
Devo,
They're
yeah.
intelligent.
What's that about? You
They're
saying?
highly intelligent. They went to Kent State. They graduated in the
Ah,
top 10.
Oh, they're not. They're no dummies. They're educated men.
They're freaking like nerds. They're like scholars. They built all their own equipment.
Yeah, and you told me Chicago. They were classical
Boston.
musicians originally before
Yeah, they're very talented because they were different. They were versatile.
That's what I like about the band. Well, a little bit of the band Boston being from outside Boston, but yeah, Tom Schultz was the same way. He was an engineer and he worked for Polaroid, and he was able to make a lot of his own gear and
Yes.
stuff for his instrument when he didn't have another place to get it from. He said to himself, "I can just build it." So he did a lot to the sound of that band, and I think it shaped a lot of that mid late 70s sort of arena rock kind of a
Right.
sound. And I mean, even bands to this day can take a lot from what they brought to the musical scene, even in the recording industry. I think they did a lot that people forget about the band Boston.
Well, I totally agree with you. So I was telling James, I would listen to like the best of the best, like jazz, progressive rock, and listen to the best of the best. Or I used to study videos, James knows, of like Charlie Chaplin, the best of the best. And I
Yep.
learned my craft by listening to the best
Yeah.
and watching the best.
Yeah, his performances are on the internet. Kenny has played
Wow.
everywhere.
That's crazy.
He
I
was
didn't realize you were going to have such a musical inclined guest here
well,
with Kenny. It's awesome. Yeah.
well, he's not a musician. He does creative mime and creative dance to any music, and
Wow.
he uses magical props. His longtime friend is a famous magician, Rocco Solano, and Kenny was supposed to play Vegas until the pandemic hit.
Dang.
He had it all set up, and it's on hold right now. Otherwise, he would be out there now. It's the only thing that couldn't be put on the internet, it had to be put in a Google photo album, was all the this dance club he was performing at, because of the copyrighted music. Because YouTube will mute your video.
They will do that, yeah.
Mute it completely, yeah. But
Kenny, hello, Kenny.
You know what happened? He stepped outside, and the internet connection sucks. So he'll be back when he goes back in the lobby of where he is staying at now, because he's doing something. He's doing a performance, and he's staying at a hotel. Backyard Brewery looks really good.
You can get a growler is 64 ounces, and you get it in one of those 64-ounce jugs when you go to the brewery and you fill them up. The other one you can kind of get, that a lot of breweries seem to be doing these days, they call them, instead of a growler, it's a crowler at 1 quart, 32 ounces. And it's a can. They actually fill you a 32-ounce can of beer at a lot of breweries. So what they do is they have this part. They have this part, the empty can. They can fill that whole can with the beer, and then they have these lids, these tops for the cans, and they have actual. There you go. Yeah, there's a good look at it. And they take these cans, and they have a machine that adheres the top of this 32-ounce can onto the body of the can. So you get to bring home 2 pints of a craft brewery beer at a lot of places. There you go. The crowler.
Yeah. Well, you could tell it's a craft microbrewery because the simplicity of the label. You don't have usually with the popular companies like Dogfish and Sierra Nevada, they got the fancy artwork, but the small breweries have simplistic labels, designs, and you can tell. They add new products to Brick City over here. I got to check them.
Yeah.
I told them, I says, you're going to come out with an Imperial Pumpkin ale or something. They said they're not sure what's going to come out. I have a feeling they want to surprise people, but they would be foolish not to come out with it, and especially for October.
Where is the Friday night crew? Where do they all go?
I don't know.
The normals.
I sent a link to Alex. I sent a link to Nina. I sent a link to, Hilton came on late because obviously he was really intoxicated.
Oh, God.
Now, Owens, I had a big falling out with, so.
Apparently.
Yeah. So.
That's whatever.
Yeah.
People seem to come and go in this whole crafty hobby, although I'm not saying ill will towards Gary Owens, but it's all ice beers and malt liquors 24/7 because it's the cheapest thing on the planet Earth. But yeah. I thought about this yesterday. Yesterday we were having with the family, I forget what you call it. I think it was what you would call a flank steak or a flat iron steak, and it was one of the marinated ones you can get that are in your freezer section that have all the marinades, and you can put it on your grill. What did we have with it last week when I went to my brother's wedding? I was the man. One of the things that we brought, but we brought it back home, was a black box of Cabernet Sauvignon. Is that the red wine there? But yeah.
Good.
Had it with some little flat iron steak yesterday, and it wasn't really that bad, but my brain gravitated in the beer community in the world to say, I guess I would rather have whatever that thing is, $15 or 16 for one of those black box bottle or black box
You see,
of
Frank,
the Cabernet Sauvignon. I guess I would rather spend the $15 or 16 on that than and actually want to drink it with 3 liters of wine in there. Then I guess I would want to buy a 40 ounce of Colt 45 or Steel Reserve that I really don't want to drink. I'm
yeah,
saying it in relativity. That's like one of the more closer approximations to the volume you get for the product you receive. Wine in the box, the 40 ounce beer. I guess I would rather just have the better tasting wine. I don't know. That's just
yeah.
me.
And it
I
has
think that's a higher quality product at the end of the day.
they have a lot. Don't they have a lot of adjuncts? Those cheaper beer.
Oh, they're making them just as cheap or even cheaper than Bud Miller and Coors standard beers.
Yeah,
They are the lower end. That's why you can get $1.25 for a 40 ounce.
I mean, on occasion, uh, uh, Damien would bring a craft beer, but I have a feeling because that they're living on a budget, and if you had to drink craft beer every day, I guess it's expensive. So
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
But then again, there are macros that are not expensive if they like Genesee, Modelo, companies like that, Rolling Rock, yeah, and such. Now a flank steak has to be marinated because it's like a London broil. It's very lean beef. It's lean, and you got to break those fibers up, and you got to not just pound it with a tenderizer. You got to marinate it I would marinate it for more than a day, or a day. 24 hours is good. But I like skirt steak. Like when I go to the Brazilian Rodizio barbecue, the all you can eat barbecue, where everything is spinning on wood charcoals, right? The skirt steak is outstanding, tender. It's really good. But
Sounds good to me.
But I know flank steak. Flank steak is lean as can be, like a chuck or a London broil.
Yeah, you have to cut it. I forget this terminology all the time. You want to cut it. What do they say? You want to cut your piece
Against the
grain. Yes.
Grain, not with the grain of the beef.
No, you'll be chewing that like a piece of bubble gum.
The same thing when I make corned beef and cabbage, from a brisket. Brisket is also a very lean piece of meat. You got to cut it against the grain. Pastrami, corned beef. You could tell with a brisket. It's long.
You can tell where it is with pastrami. Easy.
Yeah,
it's kind of stringy when you get it out from the roasting oven.
James, I lost you there. I had to recharge my battery.
Yeah, well, that's why I told you to bring your charger.
I got it. Okay, then was running low and I had to charge it.
Yeah, well, is there an electrical outlet in that room?
Yeah, where I'm sitting.
Yeah, just plug it in.
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Yeah, because video, even if you watch YouTube videos, it uses a lot of power in a phone.
Yeah, I could see that.
It drains even if you're watching videos like John MacArthur and the other guy you like, and you keep watching a lot of videos, you're going to see the power just going right down.
So how many people do you have on your live show or are hooked up to you?
Sometimes guests, I usually have a few to several, but I also have people, that come aboard, and, not on video, but they type, and then I get people that watch the show after it's done. Yeah, like when the show's over, there are people that'll comment when the show is already recorded and on YouTube. So in other words, if you wanted to do, let's say, religious sermons, or you
Right.
want to talk about a deep subject,
Right.
whatever you talk about is not only live, which we are right now, but it also gets people watch it when it's already done.
Yeah, this
You know,
ain't like Tiptoe Through the Tulips.
no. This is right on. It right now. It's live on my YouTube channel, and it's out there. It's out there. Now there's another app that you can download on your phone that you can stream to different websites at the same time, but you can't have guests on like this.
Right.
It's like it's a solo thing. So in other words, it'll only be me. It's called Mobcam. It'll only be me talking, and then
Right.
the video quality is excellent, and then it'll stream to like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, like all at the same time. But they don't have the feature that this company has, which is you have a guest, they get on video.
Right.
You want the guest is saying something really heavy duty. Boom, there you go. You give them a full screen,
Yeah, I see that.
and you go there, and then you can do that.
Right.
Like if you like a lot of I can have up to 5 people, including me. Six. I can have 6 people, including me. So
Right.
if I have 6 people, I have to do it this way because there won't be. If I do it this way, everybody will probably start getting skinnier and skinnier.
Okay.
So this is good because if you got 2 to 3 people on, it's not. I do it this way because then you get a close up. So what do you got there to eat? Because I got hungry talking about brisket and
Yeah,
pastrami.
man.
Wow. I got the. Oh my God, you can't even see that. I got that pork. I got that beef
Oh,
and the cheese, and I put a horseradish sauce on it. Oh yeah.
oh yeah. You mean the what the hell, the flank steak?
Yep.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Uh-oh.
I got some.
Uh-oh. There it is.
I got some calabrese salami and provolone cheese. Later on. I'm going to have a big salami and provolone cheese sandwich
All right.
with German mustard. You know, the stone ground mustard.
I like that. Yeah.
Now, Kenny, your
yeah.
hairstyle, you're starting to look like Wild Bill Hickok.
Yeah, I know.
Oh no.
It looks good though. It has an entertainer's look to it.
Yeah, it does, but I got to get it cut, and everything's closed. So,
Yeah, but at
Yeah, I
least
need
you
a haircut.
got wavy. At least you got wavy hair. You know what I mean?
like I said, it's thick. My hair grows in quick.
Yeah. But I'm saying you got a good. It's a good look when you have this because you look like an entertainer.
Right.
Great song from Ragtime, Scott Joplin.
There you go.
Ragtime.
Great.
I like the music from the 20s too. The old jazz, the old Dixieland jazz.
Louis Armstrong.
The blues. Even way before him. Like Charlie Chaplin, the Little Rascals. Charlie Chaplin played to certain music like ragtime, piano.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have old blues. Louis Armstrong was just a famous. Him and there were certain famous blues musicians that made it, but then there were other little bands, that sounded great, but they just didn't get the big breaks.
Yeah.
Well, that's because you're not linked into the system.
In other words, if you play ball with the system, with the powers that be,
With the DJ payola scandal.
Well, he's talking about like secret societies that run Hollywood and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
those kids that are on America's Got Talent, they
Yeah,
they,
they're
sign-
pretty
they
good,
sign a
man.
contract. Oh, what should I sign? What should I sign?
Yeah.
They don't know. They don't even have a
Mhm.
lawyer look over the contract.
No.
Probably not.
They're so starry-eyed about it. You know, you won. You're going to Vegas, right? And then they sign, and you know, like that guy that had the show that was an asshole, Simon Cowell, whatever. But he's like, you know, a typical arrogant British dude. You know, like
Yeah.
like Gordon Ramsay. You know, typical. And the other guy, Steve Irwin. You know, they all have.
Arrogant United Kingdom dude. Wow.
That's why.
Continue. That was
That's
funny.
That's why the Chinese in Hong Kong are very arrogant in there and very materialistic and very
No, what?
Hong Kong,
Oh,
yeah, because there was a British colony.
this I knew.
I'm Henry VIII. I am Henry VIII. I am. I am.
Hey, James, I'm going to have to cut you short because this guy's getting me hungry, man. And
I think you better get some grub, some victuals. You got to find yourself victuals.
yeah, we'll definitely talk again. Now, what's your buddy's name again?
Eric.
Eric.
Yes.
Good talking to you.
You too.
Yeah, next time we get on the air, we'll talk longer. Because I've been
All
talking
right.
an hour and a half.
Oh, he could talk about Hollywood going way back, entertainers, and you name it. Football,
Wow.
he knows a lot about football.
Sounds good to me.
And the Bible too. He knows all the stuff. So
Excellent.
What are you, a Celtic fan?
Oh, Celtics and Chicago White Sox. What the?
Oh, hey,
No.
not bad.
I used
They
to
were
work at a company that made all these shirts and sweatshirts.
he's a
Sure.
boss.
Celtics. Yeah, I'm in Boston area. Celtics, Patriots, Red Sox, and Bruins. Red Sox did not. Red Sox were like 16 or 17 games out of first place. That was a Red
Not
Sox.
this year.
That was a bad year for the Red Sox. Let's just chalk that up to coronavirus,
This
shall we?
year I don't take seriously because it's a short
No.
season. There's nobody in the stand in the stadium. I don't even pay attention.
Nope.
It's a joke.
You're not there, is right.
Now the Tampa Lightning won the Stanley Cup for the second time, and I was telling somebody I know from Tampa, why Florida take to ice hockey so much? And I have a feeling it's because Florida is hot and humid, and when they walk into the stadium with the frozen water, it's like refreshing.
Yeah, maybe.
But hockey is popular, but it never made it big. Soccer will never make it big in the United States. I have a feeling.
All right, let me cut you short.
All right, we'll talk, and if you want to set something up, like if you want to do a sermon, or you want to do,
Yeah.
what I'll do is you go on, I'll put you on solo like that, and you do your thing,
Okay.
and that's it. So I'll see you. Thank you for being on, Kenny.
All right, thanks, guys. We'll talk.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
All right, bye.
Good night. Yeah, just click the button on the bottom that says leave.
Oh, yeah, I see it. All right, thanks.
It says leave.
Uh,
It says make like a tree and leave. Oh,
Mhm.
man. Oh. Anyway, it's cool that you can get to visit these craft breweries in person, and they're very pleasant places
Yeah.
to be. I like when they have the old brick walls inside. They got that
Yeah.
rustic look to them.
Yeah.
They got that rustic look. Thankfully, I got plenty of Japanese noodles. I still have plenty of it.
All right. I mean, I mean, that sounds good.
Yeah, I gotta
Oh,
buy.
there it is. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the flank steak.
That was pretty good. I bought some of the, I forget exactly what it is. It's like Szechuan and habanero, but that doesn't sound right. It's like ghost pepper or something. Or this thing that was going around the last couple of years. It was called the one chip challenge. The one chip challenge is like the hottest corn tortilla chip you'll ever eat in your life. It's like rated the hottest chip in the
Oh,
world.
the chip itself is hot as hell.
Yeah, it's called the Pacquiao. I think it's the I gotta look the PAQIU or Pacquiao or something like that.
Yeah, because when I was getting ready to watch the first debate, I went to Trader Joe's. I wanted good snacks, and I got two big bags of organic blue corn tortilla chips, and I got
Okay.
their chunky hot salsa. Their chunky
Yeah.
salsa. They had another salsa there called Cowboy Caviar.
Whoa.
Had all kinds of veggies and corn kernels and all kinds of stuff. The only thing is the jar was small. And I know if I get that, it'll be like gone in no time.
Yep.
So, I ended up eating way too many tortilla chips dipped in salt.
Well,
I knocked off a jar and a half during the debate. And
that's the only thing. That's literally. Hopefully, you know where I'm going with this. When you say salsa, and then you talk about the debate and which one was better than the other. But that was literally the most exciting thing that happened during the debate, I bet you, is your fucking salsa.
Well, I had a bellyache all night because I got so stressed out from the debate that I ate too much. I knocked off they're big jars, a jar and a half of salsa.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I know tomato has lycopene, it's good for men, you know, it's good, but you know, and peppers are great for the cardiovascular system, but you know, I don't think it was the salsa that gave me the bellyache. I think it was the excessive corn chips that.
Oh.
But you know, organic blue corn tortillas are really healthy. I mean, they're high in fiber. It's really and tastes fantastic. Not that the blue corn is really superior nutrition wise. It's like slightly better, but it's good. It's I got plenty left. I bought extra salsa, just like I try to keep extra noodles, in the house.
I still have those sobo. Wow. Soba noodles. I still got some of those bundles left. I gotta eat some of those tomorrow.
The buckwheat, yeah, soba. It's
I guess they were buckwheat, yeah.
Well, half buckwheat, half whole wheat.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of just buckwheat. Not really.
Well, if I ate buckwheat hot cereal, which is called kasha.
Yeah.
I honestly, even though it's a nutritional powerhouse, I am not crazy about the taste of buckwheat. Unless I'm having buckwheat pancakes or soba noodles, but now I'm thinking about the pumpkin pancakes at the IHOP. I haven't been
I gotta read this to you really quick before I forget. I'm on their website. Oh my god. I'm trying to read you. Is this website gonna work on this tablet I'm on? I'm on this Pacquiao website, the Pacquiao website for that one chip challenge. It's Carolina Reaper and like Szechuan heat all at the same time.
Oh, you're on a tablet.
Carolina Reaper. That's nothing to that's nothing to bat your eye at. That's gonna be a hot chili. So what else did I get? They make some other blends that they put together in like 2 or 7 ounce bags. They do a haunted ghost pepper. I think I got 2 bags of 2 ounces and 7 ounces of their nacho cheese called mucho Choco cheese. I think I got 2 bags of jalapeno tropical. And I think I got 2-ounce bags of one called Fiery Chili Limon. Wow, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, because I
Cacao. Yeah.
believe the Carolina Reaper still is the king of the Scoville units.
Yeah, I think it is. I think there have been other peppers that have that have become and are cross hybrids of that, but just I think without just what can grow in the ground, probably it is the Carolina Reaper.
Yeah,
It's
before the Carolina Reaper, the king was the there was
Trinidad Scorpion or something like that.
Trinidad Scorpion chili, and before that was the Ghost pepper from India, Eastern India, northeastern India.
So I better go on StreamYard when I get that one chip challenge and try that out live. Oof, that might hurt. We'll have to find out.
Remember when you took the dried chili pepper and
ooh, that was pretty hot. Yeah.
And you had to leave the show because you were crying and dancing around. And,
yeah, that did happen. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Owens kept on saying, "You got to drink milk. You got to drink milk."
Thank you, Gary.
Milk won't cure the heat, but it'll make it a little more tolerable.
Thank you, Gary. Where are you now when I need you? Oh.
Yeah. Well, Gary thinks that herd immunity in a bar and restaurant and is the best thing to deal with COVID-19 because people will build antibodies. And I says, yeah, and a lot of people will die. A great deal of people will drop dead. Oh, there it is. There, you gotta love it. You gotta love the hazy, I guess, New England IP.
Ooh, should I give it the Alex 100 out of 100? Ooh, I don't know about that. It's pretty good.
King 100. I even sent Alex and Nina a StreamYard on email because they don't have Facebook. Those two.
No,
they don't have Facebook. I wonder.
Kind of weird this day and age, but it happens. Yeah.
What do they do? What on earth do they do with their time on the planet Earth if
I don't know.
Like they don't have any major social media account.
Just their YouTube things.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of great videos to watch on YouTube. There's multitudes, countless things, and I guess you can get pretty entertained by watching a lot of videos on YouTube. But there's the camaraderie, there you go, Narragansett beer. Yeah, Nina's brought Narragansett beer on Jay Terrio's show.
She from the state of Rhode Island.
Yeah, the Ocean State.
That's what they call it. I'll be there tomorrow.
Newport, Rhode Island. You going? Oh, is that where the rehearsal studio is?
No, I was there earlier today in Massachusetts. Tomorrow, I'm trying to remember exactly what it is. So I think every state must have an Audubon Society. I think.
Oh, you're a bird.
Well, somebody in my family is, right? Yes, correct. You're correct about that. So right along the Narragansett Bay, family's got another little house thing. They got a bike path right by their house, and the bike path goes through towards this Audubon Society. So they're doing this thing called an Audubon Fire. Ooh, so you can walk down this bike path. There's cash bar. I think there's food trucks. They're going to be having different lit fires down this bicycle path. I'm like, that sounds pretty good. What? A cash bar and fire and food. I'm there for that. And it's going to be. I think it's supposed to be in the. What is it? It's going to be in like the mid 70s or like high 60s tomorrow in the Northeast. It's going to be nice.
Oh, tomorrow it's going to be maybe the high 60s because it's been dry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been super dry. Oh yeah.
Which I love. I can't stand humidity. I feel very uncomfortable.
Mm.
But I'm
Yeah,
a
the
big
plants don't like all this humidity. Don't like not so much rain. No.
I'm a big fan of birds because they happen to be the closest living relatives to dinosaurs. Not lizards, but birds.
Yep.
Yeah, birds. The bird is the word.
But.
Bird is the word. The word is the word. Yeah.
Where is our good buddy John Womack when you need him?
John Womack. Let's see, John Womack. Hey, you know how much I drank a whole pickle barrel full of vodka, and at the same time I was banging a half a dozen go-go dances while I was guzzling the barrel of vodka, and it didn't faze me one bit. And I banged, I blew my load. You couldn't even see the girls. That's how much of a load I have. I think he mentioned that one. Yeah, you couldn't see the goil.
Oh my lord,
Yeah,
that is not right.
Booze, chicks, bragging nonstop.
Well, he's the one that. Sorry, hashtag not sorry. He's the one that messaged me on Facebook Messenger and said he was banging a hooker for like $100 an hour. I'm like, good for you. He's like, oh, you're just jelly. I'm like, don't call me a Schmucker's product, please.
You know, that's why I felt bad that he had a falling out with Mike Hilton, because both of them are very similar. They talk about girls a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know. I'm not gonna try to claim if one's crazier than the other because that would be inappropriate. But damn, I mean, this guy over here thinks we want to hear all this shit, and not many people want to.
Marvelous Muma. The Marvelous Muma was here. Now,
hello. Marvel, who is Marvelous Muma? Hello.
I don't know who Marvelous Muma is. I don't complain as long as I have people coming and watching.
You want to join the show? Does James have to give you a link and we have to question you with the divining rod?
Oh, Mike Hilton got fired already from his new job because he was the boss told him, stop flirting with the women here. So maybe one or two of them complained.
What? He's got a real issue, doesn't he?
Girls. Da, da, ba, ba, da. Yeah.
Michael Hilton can't get anyone because he's in jail.
Jail. You can't. Listen, there's an old saying: don't shit where you eat, and don't eat where you shit. If you're, especially today with the feminazis out there changing the rules, you don't do anything with a female coworkers. Even if the female coworker loves you, if you fraternize with her and you date her and you have an affair, and then if it doesn't work out, and if it ends badly, then you have to see her at work, and she has to see you at work.
Yeah.
5 days a week or whatever. So it becomes very awkward.
Yeah, Michael Hilton.
It's awkward. It's like, psychologists say, I don't date my. It's against. I could lose my license if I date my patients.
Yeah.
Or teachers, college professors are not supposed to have an affair with some hot chickie poos in his classroom. He's not. He can get in trouble.
No.
Because what'll happen is she'll say, "We slept together several nights this week. Aren't you going to give me straight A's and kind of finagle my grades so I get my degree?" I could just picture that happening.
Boy, it sounds Sounds like the life, right? No, I don't know.
finagler. But so what did you think of my idea of acrylic drumsticks with LED lights inside?
I think that's already made.
No shit.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen drumsticks that have the tips that light up. Yeah.
Oh, the tips.
Oh,
Oh, that's not bad. You know what? That might be even better than the whole
it might
thing.
last longer. I don't know about all plastic made out of drum.
No,
Made
that'll
out of
crack.
plastic.
The way
Mhm.
drummers in time they'll break.
They make there's acrylic drum sets that have come out. Yeah,
I
acrylic
saw.
drum sets started in the 70s. Yeah.
I mean, Kenny's friend plays a violin like absolutely incredible, like Isak Perlman, and he bought a an acrylic transparent violin with blue LED lights inside, and it's electric. You plug it in. I mean, he has the old-fashioned, not Stradivarius, but he has the standard.
All right.
But he got this electric violin. You plug it in, boom, the lights go on inside, and it's like, holy shit! I'm like, I was mesmerized by it, and the sound was decent. I know people say, you know, the wood gives you a different sound, like with acoustical guitar versus the, you know, electric. Yeah, that's true. There is a different sound. And I imagine electronic cellos or any string instrument, electric versus wood, there is a difference. A flute, a recorder, you know, a wooden recorder from the Middle Ages sounds different than the metal flute. But anyway, I think that you lose something in the beer and booze reviewing, not you, but in general, the community. You lose something in the quality of the reviewing when people get too intoxicated, because then instead of doing educational reviews, it becomes like white noise. Like it's like everybody's like,
Right.
you know,
That's true.
like it's a caveman, a quest for fire, caveman movie. You know, like now if it's a hangout just for fun and kicks, that's a different story.
Do whatever you want, right?
You know, but if you're doing something like what Jay Terrio does, and he has been getting steady income from YouTube, which means he must have a heaping helping of followers.
That's crazy.
He told me he's getting paid, and I says, well,
you can do this at like 5 in the morning and just drink random ass whiskeys or crappy rums against crappy rums, and he tells us they're going to be crappy before he even drinks them. I'm like, people want to watch you do that.
Well,
wow.
You don't tell people that on my Dawn Busters.
He does.
Tomorrow morning. I know he does. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to drink an embarrassing cheap bottle of bourbon, and I'm going to be doing a taste test with this other cheap ass bourbon I paid $8 for, and it's like it's embarrassing that I'm going to do this show. And I apologize to the people that are watching, but then he does it. Like if you don't tell people something is garbage or cheap ass, if you don't tell them that, there's going to be people like, oh wow, I never had that before. That's the first time I've seen that bourbon. Interesting. Oh, you got it for a great price, $8. That's even more incredible. But if you tell them it's shit, then they're going to have less incentive to watch it. You know, like John Anilli catches Dawn Busters often when he is ready to go to work, I think, or on his way to work. He watches it, but there's no way I'm going to set the alarm to watch it live. I'll catch him I'll catch the rerun, and then I'll put it on the food group. Everything is food.
Yep.
So that's pretty much that. Now, getting back to the Japanese market, I couldn't get over the amount of Japanese whiskeys that I saw, the different brand. And when I was at the other liquor store, this highfalutin area, they had a lot of tequilas that I've never heard of. They had like a whole entire, like a half of an aisle, like with all these tequilas. Is of course we've heard of Jose Cuervo and Patron, you know, but these are tequilas I never heard of, and they're probably distilleries in Mexico that are small, probably family-owned distilleries, and that's just like with rum. There's a lot of rums that you don't see in liquor stores.
Yeah, light and dark rums, and spiced rums. If you like Captain Morgan or Sailor Jerry's, no thank you.
Vodka, the Sailor Jerry's is kind of pricey. I like Bacardi Black is a good bargain, good bang for the buck. Black Cat from Suriname had the most potent flavor of any rum I had.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, añejo. When you age rum for a long time, they call it añejo, which is just aged in a wooden barrel, like they do Scotch whiskey. You know,
Ron de Terrio.
Ron de Jeremy. You know what? I bet Ron de Jeremy, that fat hairy tribble, I bet he pays those people dirt cheap down in Costa Rica to make his rum.
Probably. Come on. It can't be that expensive. The rum? Come on. Like $30 a bottle, maybe?
Yeah, I wonder how much he wants for it. And then
$20, I hope.
But then there's going to be people that are going to go, Ron Jeremy, what does he do? Like he puts his genitals in the barrel of rum. You know, are there going to be pubic hairs in this rum? You know, people are going to be like reluctant. They're going to go, oh, Ron Jeremy making rum.
You know, that makes it sound so appealing.
But yeah, well, what's her name? When she was working with the late Regis Philbin, Kathy Lee Gifford or whatever.
Nina Yorkie. No,
Nina Yorkie. You know, Nina Yorkie gets another beer from the fridge really fast.
Where's that fridge at?
The second she finishes one, she grabs another and she opens it up frantically, like almost like Homer Simpson was drinking Duff beer. Yeah. So what was I saying about Costa? Oh, Kathy Lee Gifford was having clothing made in Central America, and paying them like next to nothing. And it was in the news that she was exploiting child labor in Central America. And she was like crying, says, I had no idea that was going on. I had no idea. Woo.
Of course you did.
Of course she knew.
Worked in that industry. I know what goes on over there.
Got caught.
Come on.
It's like anybody else that gets caught. Like if they didn't get caught, they would keep on doing the dirty deeds.
Yeah.
Done dirt cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they don't get caught, I mean, of course, when they get caught,
doesn't make it any better though. No.
They're sorry. Oh, they might shed some.
Woe is me! I lost my cushy job.
Yeah. What was me with Bernard Madoff? I wonder if he ever.
He made off pretty well, didn't he?
He made off with a lot of people's life savings. And the wife was,
unfortunately,
her husband went to prison.
Wow. Scum of the earth right there.
Yeah. Well, she's upset because he was probably sending lots of money home.
Whoa.
The gravy train. Oh, that's why Ron D. Jeremy doesn't allow any cursing on his show, because then it won't be monetized.
Oh, is that really the reasoning? Because you're still gonna get the money regardless.
Oh, really?
Probably. I can't
don't-
imagine that story being true.
They don't demonetize you if there's like cursing or anything like.
I can't imagine that would be any reasoning for that.
Oh, well, maybe it's just.
That doesn't seem like that would be a logical thing for you to be monitoring every little F, A, S, C word you want to say to somebody. Call them the D word. I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh, can't imagine that's
with all
reasoning for them not to give you money.
There's probably millions, but all the millions of YouTube accounts with YouTube videos out there, I don't think the company has enough manpower to be scrutinizing every video.
I don't think so.
That is a very citrusy. Well, they all have that citrusy look to them. Now, what is the primary difference between the hazy West Coast IPA, comparing it to the New England hazy IPA? Is there a specific flavor and or aroma difference?
Yeah, there's different flavors, and there's certainly different aromas. The New England stuff, you're constantly getting these flavors out of hops, and so, a lot of the time, these breweries aren't really trying to give you like a giant amount of bitterness. So you're always getting more flavors from other places that these hops can give you, like that tropical fruit, juicy kind of flavor. Some of them like to add lactose to give you that milkshake smoothie thing, but you're always getting more of like a tropical juicy, to me, sometimes like a Pilsner malty or a wheat malt element. Whereas with the West Coast, you tend to get way more of an upfront bitterness, more darker kind of caramel toffee malts, and way more resinous, oily, bitter just components in those kind of beers. More like a piney flavor. You get that a lot in the West Coast IPA, especially if they use Centennial and Chinook hops, which a lot of those beers tend to. You'll get that kind of a sticky, resinous kind of flavors out of them. So they will have your grapefruit and your pineapple, but it's not the fluffy kind of smooth texture like the New England does have, and you're not getting that kind of a juice drink flavor out of it. Not really.
So those hops are probably indigenous to maybe the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, there's a lot of hop growing that's done in the Washington state.
Yep. Yeah, because you can't have you can't have a hot climate like the Gulf Coast or Florida. You can't grow hops there. It's a temperate plant. From Europe, it's grown in Northern Europe.
Yeah, you gotta have a good area. Excuse me, you gotta have a good area to grow them, because they're a very invasive species, and they'll take out the root system of other plants' hops. That's just what they do. So you gotta have, if you're gonna grow hops, you better just have your own hop garden. Nothing else is growing. You're trying to grow anything else over there, because it's not gonna work.
I learned something new. So they do it's like people that grow ornamental bamboo on their property, and it just takes over everything, including your neighbor's yard. Even not that strong of a plant. That was just
the root system that takes it over. Yeah. Yep.
So if you have that much land and you want to grow hops, keep it hops. That's it.
Only. Yep. That's it. We take it.
If somebody's last name was Cassidy, well, it could be Hopalong Cassidy Hop Farm.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So I am getting hungry. I'm going to wrap it up because I got provolone cheese and calabrese salami. I'm going to make a big egg
Oh yeah.
with the German stone ground brown mustard. And believe it or not, it's almost 2:30. Where the hell did all the time go? It's incredible.
Yeah, I don't know.
So tomorrow you're gonna be having. That was quick. Thank you everyone for joining me this evening for Fandango Friday. Until next time. Bye-bye.